perspective, just what culminated in not getting put away a 14-point start in the game?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what didn't? I think it was a legitimate team loss. I think everybody had their hand in it. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think people went through the motions during the week. It was a really, really good week of practice, I thought. But you know, you had a lot of yards given up in a short amount of time. You had a shorter field position, and you had an offense that went 3 and out. You know, that's literally the only way that could happen. And so yeah, we all get to share the blame in my opinion, or at least know the locker room felt 100% responsible. I think that's what you want. I think there's a lot of people that are going to be it's going to be tough to go to sleep tonight, including myself. So that's not something that you can do and expect to win football games, and you can't. It's a hard lesson, but no league is safe, and you know, I think that's one of the tougher parts about it.
Coach, in what ways do you think facing adversity in this game, post-game loss in December, can be a catalyst for positive change?
You know, I know right now it doesn't feel anything but frustration and regret about what more you can do. I do know I have experience with it personally. The two most successful seasons that I've been a part of, you know, around this week, we lost a game, and it's a, you know, at the end of the season, you're in December. We've spent a lot of time together, and you don't have, you know, you can do one or two things with a loss like this. For me personally, and just my belief in the individuals that I work with on a day-to-day basis, I would expect, you know, whatever things haven't been done in the direction of trying to win football games collectively, I think the guys will rise to the occasion. I think you have to, because you know, it's a humbling game, and you think that you're a good football team, but then each and every week you have to prove that on the field, and you can't take anything for granted. So you know, you don't. Right now it feels terrible, but that's everything that we'll be trying to do moving forward, because they can be these types of losses can be very galvanizing, but it takes literally every person in the locker room and coaching staff, and you know, you have to, as long as guys aren't pointing fingers, which I feel like there's a lot of people looking internally, you have that chance, and that's what we'll be spending our time doing.
Connor Williams is such a key player. Is his knee injury feared significant?
You know, yeah, I think we'll find out more tomorrow. I honestly, so much happened in that game from that point. I haven't even talked to the training staff about it as of yet, but you know, I know it would take a lot to keep him out. So you know, it's probably not the most positive.
Like, the offense was kind of boosted late by some of those turnovers, but what went wrong for the unit, especially in the red zone, the first couple of drives down there? Obviously, you have the turnover before red zone.
Well, yeah, you know, that's a place that we've, you know, that's where you know, we've made a point to do a pretty good job down there, and we did not tonight. You could point that as the number one reason. There's several people in several phases that will say they're the number one reason, but you can point that as number one reason we didn't win the game. For me, you know, you call plays for them to work, and they didn't. And then, you know, so you're trying to play to the you're trying to play to the team when you're making decisions to go for it or not. You know, a couple of those, you know, we just lost a lot of points down there. In two particular instances, I think inside the 5. That's 8 points total there. We had a blocked field goal. You know, we'd done out of character things to almost find a way to lose the game. The guys still fought, but you have to play a certain type of football to expect a win, and it's hard to get all the way down there and to come up with touchdowns is not something that you know, we've had success this season. We haven't done that, so it will start with me, but I think the locker room will you know, I always just look at it like we have really good players and we should be successful down there. So when we don't, I start with that, and then we'll go comb the tape and make sure that the certain things that kept us from getting in the end zone don't in the future.
Also with the offense, can you speak to the type of adjustment that it is when Tyreek Hill is out of the lineup for you guys?
Yeah, you know, it's you know, a lot of there's a good amount of offense that goes through him. However, we have you know, made a couple plays, and you know, it wasn't the reason for you know, the lack of first half or really first 3/4 points. I think there was just critical times that, you know, we would be off a hair on first or second down and put in a third down situation, and our protection wasn't exactly the what maybe we'd be used to on a play or two. Then there was a misfire on a play or two, and those things add up, you know. But I didn't see it as you know, we were obviously a player of Tyreek's caliber. It hurts when he's not in. However, I think there was plenty of offense to be had and got a lot of guys that I trust to do that. So I think that, you know, just bottom line, you have things like that happen in a game, you're going to lose. And those are lessons that are learned usually one way, and that's the hard one.
Like
I know you said that, you know, things like this are fickle, and that if the play goes the other way, then nobody's questioning it, everybody's praising it. But what went into the decision, I guess, not to run the ball those first few trips to the red zone, or to, I guess, stick to the pass those first few trips that close to the goal line?
You know, I think it had, you know, kind of approached it like I usually do, and we passed the ball because we thought it was going to work, and it didn't. And that will always, that's not a big deal to me, that it's like part of inherently in the job. If you're going to get high fives for success, like, you know, so that was definitely the wrong call because it didn't work, you know, and you have to try to forecast as much as you can and do right by the team as best you can. I think, you know, any time we're that close to the end zone and we don't come up with a touchdown, you know, I think that it will 100% of the time be second guessed, as it should be, because who am I? Am I above second guessing? Like it didn't work. So, you know, that's the you better be tough in this business if you want to be in it, and I would expect nothing less. It was, you know, stuff didn't work.
What were the defensive play calls? How did the Titans work their way down the field so quickly twice?
There was, I'm going to have to comb the film live. I think there was a couple communication issues on the back end, is what I saw, in terms of, specifically the crossing routes. There was one big one to D-Hop that was pretty hurtful in the overall grand scheme of things, but. It also you could easily say that that situation, the defense with a couple guys that got hurt within the game should have never been in that situation. So, and I know the defense specifically, multiple players and coaches came up to me and let me know that their feeling on how the end of the game went, and that it's not acceptable to them, and that's how you want the team to look at it. You don't want people to sit there and be like, 14-point lead, however long. Well, that you let people hang around and you let them off the hook when you're inside the 5 and you have 6 points as opposed to 14. It changes the math for sure. So. We'll work to clean that up. I know that there's some very, very frustrated individuals on the defensive side of the ball, but and we'll look at the tape, but I'll hesitate to place all blame. This was as much of a team loss as you could have, in my opinion, before watching the tape.